Welcome to the Purple Political Breakdown. How's it going? How's your day been? And today we got an interesting video for you guys. I'm doing this live, so if you guys are catching the live stream, shout out to you. But this is going to be a cutout version, a video talking about presidential candidates, presidents that lived in American history. And I got something that you guys may deem interesting. A survey of Democrats and Republicans of the best and worst presidents in history of America. Let's just read this. Let's read this. The 2024 Presidential Greatness Project Expert Survey was conducted online via Qual Qualtrics from November 15th to December 31st, 2023. Respondents included current and recent members of the President's and Executive Politics section of the American Political Science Association, which is the foremost organization of social science experts in presidential politics, as well as scholars who had recently published peer-reviewed academic research in key related scholarly journals or academic presses. 525 respondents were invited to participate, and 154 usable responses were received, yielding a 29.3% response rate. So, right off the bat, let me make sure this is all centered. Why does my mic never look like it's centered? Am I tripping? It just never looks like it's centered. Whatever, man. So we're gonna kind of go through all of this. We have presidents ranging from Joe Biden to George Washington, and there's a lot of different metrics. So let's go to the first one: overall president greatness ratings and rankings. Do they give a explanation? The primary purpose of this survey was to create a ranking of presidential greatness that covered all presidents from George Washington to Joe Biden. To do this, we asked respondents to rate each president on a scale of 0 to 100 for their overall greatness, with 0 being a failure, 50 average, and 100 great. All right, we got this. All right, let's look at the chart. Number one, no surprise, you're pretty much consistently recognized as the greatest president of all time, considering what he did in the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln, 93.87 rating. A lot of people probably gave him 100. I'm sure there are some people upset about certain things in relation to what happened. I'm guessing. I'm not gonna assume. But okay, we got Lincoln number one. Uh, F.D. Roosevelt number two. Okay. All right. And this also shows like their ratings measured from 2015 to 2024 and then 2018 to 2024. So I'm guessing when the survey was first taken at 2015, and this is the survey first taken in 2018 to see how the changes happen on both scenarios. Okay. We got George Washington top three. I mean, are we really surprised? These three are the only ones that are top three. George Washington, first president, obviously in the dawn of America and defeating the British. Lincoln, when it comes down to the Civil War, and FDR, I'm pretty sure was World War II. Now I'm gonna look like a bum. Let me fact check this. F.D. Roosevelt, World War. Was he the president during World War II? Yes, he was. Okay, I was right. All right. So these are the three greatest presidents. They handled those situations. Makes sense. Teddy Roosevelt being high also makes sense. He's very much well liked, and like there's so many stories about Teddy Roosevelt. Man, he's called the Bull Moose for a reason. Thomas Jefferson also makes sense. I'm sure there's going to be some dissatisfaction with guarding his kind of slavery endeavors back in the day. Harry Truman, hi. Obama, okay, okay. Obama's pretty high as well. I hear a lot of like dissatisfaction when it comes to Obama. So the fact that he's top 10 is interesting. Dwight Eisenhower, Okay, top 10. Lyndon B. Johnson, top 10. And Kennedy, very short reign, but Kennedy's really high as well. Madison, number 11. John Adams. Joe Biden, number 14. That's going to upset a lot of people, I'm sure. Let's look who's last. Let's look at the bottom. Oh, you already saw it. Look at this man. Donald Trump is dead last. The worst graded president in US history based off this survey. I mean, MAGA fans, how do you feel about that? Like, he is like by far the worst. And keep in mind that these are scholars from both sides doing this survey. Damn, Trump. Crazy thing is, I'm pretty sure he's below some presidents that died too. Like that's tough. Nixon, he's below Nixon. George GW Bush. Is this do they okay, GHW Bush. I'm pretty sure this was the first one, right? This is the second one. I wish they kind of just put the second and the first. Hoover, Harding, Harrison, Buchanan. Man, Trump dead last. And apparently he went down one. So he was always like down here. Okay. Let's look through some more interesting things. President greatness rankings by party and ideology. So this chart that we're about to see is a chart based off their political ideology: Republican, Democrat, Independent, Conservative, Liberal, and then moderate. So when it comes down to Washington, Republicans all voted him number one. Democrats number 3, so he was independents number 2, so he was consistently in the top 3 the entire time. Conservatives, liberals, moderate. So a lot of respect for Washington. Lincoln was also very high. Republicans voted him number 2 after Washington. Fair, conservative, no, but for the most part, he was number 1. Okay, and the another guy was FDR. Let's see if we could find FDR's name somewhere here because he was top 3 as well. FDR. Oh, this is by okay. So FDR would be around. This is like presidential. Um, what you call it? When they were president is how this is ordered from what it looks like. Am I tripping? Oh, we got Theodore right here. Where am I tripping? Where's Roosevelt? Where's FDR? I'm not the oh, here he is. He's just putting in initials. I'm dumb. Okay, so Republicans voted him number 3. Um, Democrats number 2, Independents 3, 3, 2, 3. So there's someone who the Independents and the Republicans voted number 2. Wait, so linking to oh, Washington. Oh, Democrats voted Washington 3. Interesting. All right, let's look at the last. So this is Donald Trump. This is one Donald Trump and Biden is the one. Oh, let's look at Obama too. Obama for Republicans is voted number 15. Wow. Democrats obviously really high with 6. Independents really high because 8. Conservatives 13. I'm surprised he's top 15 for Republicans and conservatives because I hear them shit on Obama all the time. And then liberals very high, makes sense. And then moderates number 9. So most of these are top 10. I would assume Republicans would have him like bottom 10 considering how they talk about Obama. I'm gonna be honest. Let's look at Trump. Trump. Let's keep in mind there's 45 presidents. Democrats have him last. Independents have him last. Liberals have him last. And moderates have him last. Republicans had him 41st. So they think that he is one of the worst presidents of all time. And 43rd for conservatives, which is interesting. Let me see who Republicans had under Trump. Funny enough, they don't have Biden under Trump, which is crazy. We'll talk about that in a second. But okay, they have A. Johnson. Who is A. Johnson? I don't remember off the top of my head, but he's below Trump. They have Pierce below Trump, Buchanan below Trump, or yeah, all of them. And then I think what was Trump 42, 41. So they have one more candidate and Harrison. Okay. As for Biden, um, the left has him really high, number 13. They don't have him higher than Obama, which is okay, but they have him really high. 13. Independents have him 19. Independents kind of don't like him recently. Liberals have him 13th, and then moderates have him 20. So moderates and independents have him around like the halfway mark, middle mark. Liberals and Democrats have him a little bit higher. But surprising to me, Republicans have him 30. Like, yes, that is bottom, what, 15? But based on how they talk about Biden, you would assume that he would be like around the 40s, right? So that's interesting. Very interesting. Let's keep on going. This is fun. This is fun. Come on. This is fun. Presidential greatness ratings by party and ideology. Okay, these are more just like metrics versus like straight out value. Um, I don't really need to go too in depth, but yeah, not great for some people. All right, next, the most and least polarizing presidents. We're kind of skip through this first, but the most polarizing president by far is Donald Trump. By far is Donald Trump. Let's read how this is kind of measured. In the current polarized political climate, we thought it would again be interesting to ask which presidents were considered by presidency experts to be the most polarizing. To do so, we asked respondents to identify up to 5 individual presidents they believed were the most polarizing. So they've named 5. Trump by far is number 1, which makes sense. Trump is freaking polarizing as hell. Obama being top 3 also makes sense to me. And Andrew Jackson being top 3, I guess, makes sense to me as well, if you really think about what he did back in the day. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And then the least polarizing president, Washington. Oh, like Lincoln's actually pretty high too, but Washington, the least polarizing. Oh, he's actually on both. Makes sense. Washington, like what can you say about the first president of the United States, right? He's a he's a unifier. The most underrated and overrated president. Let me see. They have to name 5 individual presidents as Gwen. Most underrated, Carter, Grant, George H.W. Bush. I'm pretty sure that's the first one. And Dwight Eisenhower. Biden. Look at that. Biden is up here. Do I take reaction requests? As long as it's politically, it's as long as it's in my wheelhouse, I would take requests. Let me make sure the audio is on. Yep, it's on. All right. Okay. Biden being in the underrated. If you do one now, watch Olive enters wow factor. What is that? Biden is here, which is pretty interesting. Obama's also here for underrated, which is very interesting. Most overrated, Kennedy. Tough. Obama's also here again. Washington is here. And then Trump, obviously. Okay, Kennedy by far. What is it about? What is the video about? And then difficulty to assess Harrison, a lot of these guys because they died, of course. And that's all we got. No, I'm not gonna search it up. All right. So with that said, that's all we got for this video. This was interesting. If you want to see this survey as well, I'll put the link in my description. So if you want to kind of go through it by yourself, but it's kind of eye-opening. And you only can say so much. Obviously, people are going to be upset because, oh, look at what they're doing to Trump and Biden. But these are experts in the field. So I mean, you only can say so much. And it's evenly distributed between both sides, but I'm sure people are going to call BS, of course. So that's unfortunate. So I hope you guys enjoy. You all have a good one. Take care and peace.